Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do One Piece Chapter 739 review. Now, I need to go somewhere, and I don't have time in the afternoon to do video, so it's either now or never in the morning, and that's the way it is. So, because I'm very busy this afternoon. So, before I get started, I do want to say big ups to the Raichus on Patreon.com who have made the goal possible, who have achieved the goal of attaining a PlayStation 4. So someone is going to win a PlayStation 4, that is for sure. Once again, big ups to the Raichus. Now, that being said, let's move forward. First of all, this chapter has a flashback, and I don't know what's up with the big three this week, but Bleach, Naruto, and even One Piece had flashbacks that honestly, none of them were monumental or even that important to the overall stories. And One Piece's flashback, it's basically Rebecca talking to the toy soldier about how, like, when the news was, spread across the entire country that Flamingo was resigning as Shichibukai, people assumed that he was going to, step down from the throne and how he was gonna free all the dwarves. No, we know what happened. And we see the reaction. It's basically the reaction of that incident from the viewpoint of Rebecca and the toy soldier. And we already knew that it was of great impact to everyone who was against Flamingo. We already knew that. But to see Rebecca and the toy soldier's perspective, I think it's not important. It really isn't. Furthermore, when it came to the whole Trable and Usopp thing, it seemed as if they were taking their sweet ass time with that, because what's going on there pretty much is that after Trable throws the massive ship at the executive tower, and the executive tower is total, and he's able to actually use one of his sticky goo things to hold down the dwarves, Usopp and Robin, they're fine. And we have Lael, the leader of the dwarves, or this section of the dwarves. He's basically being interrogated by Trable, and he's giving out all the secrets because he's a dwarf and he's very gullible and that kind of stuff. And we have Trable saying, oh, by the way, my sticky stuff is flammable. So he makes some kind of spark. He throws out the sticky stuff and it blows up. And all the dwarves blow up along with it. And we see Lael, Usopp is holding him, and Lael is explaining to Usopp about how we gotta do this because our captain, the toy soldier, he will die. He will be annihilated if we don't do this, if we don't actually make Sugar pass out. And it appears as if what most of the stuff that Lael's saying is just motivation for Usopp to do something. For Usopp to actually gain the balls and actually try and take out Sugar and Trable. Because right now, he's on some I want to haul ass mode. It's bro, you've been training for 2 years on a archipelago that could potentially eat you every single day, but here against Trable, you want to haul ass. I don't get it. It's Usopp, you would expect for him to actually showcase more of his confidence if that's what he was training for, alongside with helping Luffy and so on and so forth. But no, it's very odd, and I don't like it. So it appears as if Lael may have convinced Usopp to actually do something, but at the same time, we're just not too sure. And we find out from Lael that, am I saying his name right? I have no idea. Whatever. Let's move on. Lael, whatever his name is. All right. We find out from him that the toy soldier is Krios. He is the guy who was undefeated in the Coliseum, 3,000 matches, 3,000 wins, and only one slash actually damaged him through these competitions. Now, this to me, I thought was actually the reveal. I thought was a given. I thought that it was very probable that Krios was a toy soldier. In fact, because in the latest episode we've actually gotten to that whole Krios thing, people were already saying that the toy soldier is Krios, and they're absolutely right. The toy soldier is Krios. And because you can also tell that may have been possible because of the time. Given the time, the toy soldier, well, I forgot when exactly, but basically Krios himself was inactive, he stopped actually competing 20 years ago, and he's like a legend. But you would think that people would actually know, but it's a toy soldier. But mind you, when Sugar turns you into a toy, people forget about who you are. So that's the thing. The thing about it is that the actual individual, Krios, he is the prince of this country, because he's the prince of the, Riku family, and he was a very powerful, individual in the Colosseum. So, I mean, that being said, like, it's not like a huge monumental reveal. It really isn't. And furthermore, what I do want to point out is that it's not something like, even like, this is gonna sound like odd, but even though what's going on with the toy soldier and what's going on with the dwarves is the most important part of the chapter, is the most important part of the arc right now, it's not the part that I'm the most, it's not the part that I'm the most invested in. I care more so about Burgess and Sabo. I care a lot more so about Sanji and Big Mom. I care a lot more so about what's going on with Luffy, Zoro, and Viola, and Pika. And speaking of which, Pika, since the elevator has actually reached the palace area when it comes to the toy soldier and Laoji, they're actually experiencing what Pika's doing, because their elevator is actually like made out of stone, and it's actually affecting the elevator. So while Pika is actually like moving the actual stone, Laoji's caught off guard. The toy soldiers, well, the dwarves actually assist the toy soldier, and they pin him down. They pin down Laoji, and the toy soldier hauls ass to, do something. Either help Luffy take down Flamingo, or what exactly he's gonna do, I'm not too sure. But here's the thing, though. The toy soldier, unless Usopp and Robin succeed in making Sugar pass out, and thus creating, thus returning all the toys back to their original forms, and the memory of those toys returning, the toy soldier himself isn't a factor. He's not. He is a non-factor in this entire battle. It's going to be Luffy, Flamingo, one-on-one. Put your dukes up. Let's go. And the toy soldier's he's going to be some sideline dude. That's the way I see it. Unless he somehow gets his old body back. Unless, the people return to their senses. Or the toys, pretty much, they return to their original forms. And also, Rebecca. When I see her, I'm like, definitely, absolutely, do not let her join the crew. Her sword has no edge. I'm like, oh my god, what are you, fucking Kenshin? Himura? Like, no. And I'm not trying to shit on Kenshin, because Kenshin, he's a very good character and a very good shonen. I'm just saying that, like, Rebecca doesn't actually hit you. She dodges you. Her sword is blunt in case she does want to hit you. I'm like, oh, no, man. No, she cannot join the crew. All the more reason why she cannot join the crew. We need a female in this crew that is actually someone who is, at least in terms of combat, able to actually go into the Grand Line, the further on to the New World, and be someone who's quintessential combat-wise. So if Sanji's going to face an opponent that he can't hit because she's female, in comes this other individual in their crew who's a very powerful female. And even though Robin, I think, is actually powerful, she's not Robin's hard to explain. She could be very powerful, and she was back in the day, but now it's like, and I think it's because the bar is raised so high now, and Robin, I just don't think is up to snuff. And plus, a few fun facts here. Number one, Rebecca's 16. No. She's freaking younger than Chopper. I think Chopper's like 17 or 15, something like that. I don't know. I forget. That's number one. And number two, is that, and this doesn't involve Rebecca, the toy soldier, apparently when he was created, since he was apparently the first toy created on the island by Sugar, Sugar must have forgotten to actually put a contract on the toy soldier. And for the past 10 years, he's been fighting to help the dwarves, to help the toys, which I think is why some of the reasons why some of the toys are actually aware of what's going on here. Like, some toys just don't know. And some toys are just, like, either their memories were altered or it's been so long that they forget. I have no idea. But some of the toys, like that one Slinky dog, he knew what was going on completely. So, maybe there's a lasting effect of being a toy where you forget who you are because of the contract. Again, I have no idea. But either way, that's the chapter. The chapter overall, I thought that the chapter was okay some parts are okay, to be very honest. Because there was a lot of stuff going on with Leo and because the last chapter, we made significant progress in that particular section of the entire arc. But when it comes to this chapter, it seems as if, like, we've made standstill. I mean, the dwarves were captured and, Trebo did the whole fire thing and they blew up. But then it came to the whole speech about the soldier and how for 10 years he's been fighting and he wasn't given a contract, so he was able to freely move around and that kind of stuff. So it explains a lot when it comes to the toy soldier. It's just that it's not what I'm focused on right now. I want to see Sabo and Burgess. I want to see freaking Sanji and Big Mom. And I would have been more satisfied had they made more progress in particular parts of the arc. And you can kind of argue that they kind of did make progress when it comes to Lao, Jean, and Toy Soldier. But the Toy Soldier just left the elevator. He just left it, for Christ's sakes. And they were there for, like, God knows how long, how many chapters. So, there could have been a lot more progress in the story. And the flashback, why? That also hinders the progress. The flashback was unnecessary because of the fact that it hinders the progress, and it's a reiteration or it's a different viewpoint of an incident that we know occurred, and it affected those who fought against Flamingo or who are against Flamingo in general. We know this. So, I mean, the chapter could have been a lot better. So I'm going to give it an okay. Now, again, granted, Pika's doing something, and we may hopefully get to see a lot more Pika. And because since the Toy Soldier's going over there himself, he may actually, the Toy Soldier himself may actually wind up, running into Luffy and the others when they take on Pika, or because they're doing it right now. And what I can say is that I'm not too thrilled about Usopp needing motivation, like a motivational speech to actually get the job done. But Usopp, it's time to put on your damn tryhard panties, all right? Put your tryhard boots on. Let's go. Make your father, make Yasop proud. Make the Warriors of Elbaf proud. Fuck. Where's your Soge King mask? Put that shit on. Soge ga shimate orewa. Come on, man. Let's go. Fuck. Alright. Well, the chaptering overall is okay. I thought it was okay. For obvious reasons. Again, lack of story progression. And just, I'm not intrigued about how, again, if it was further along in the story for those parts, it would have been a lot better. But it just wasn't. Stall time, Usopp motivational speeches, flashbacks, unnecessary flashbacks, Krios being the Toy Soldier reveal, which, again, I think was very obvious. Rebecca, blunt blades, no, get her out of here. Fuck. Sabo was actually very funny, too. He calls Bartolomeo Muscle Lemon. Like, bro, Muscle Lemon. Like Muscle's glasses on some fucking epic mealtime shit. It's funny though. So I'm done. King Lightning. For sure, of course, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice day. Rating okay. Also, I forgot to mention one last thing. We see Diamante, and he actually takes out Rebecca. Okay, and he does something weird where he has some weird little pendant thingy or some kind of weird little case, and he throws it in the air. And then out of the case comes a flutter mace. And he grabs that mace and he just slugs Rebecca yeah. And he's explained to her about how her mother died, Scarlet. And I don't think that she actually remembers that the toy soldier saved her mother, or, I mean, she doesn't know the specifics, but the thing about it is that it may be the case that he, Diamante, killed her mother. And, I mean, I'm going to throw it out there because he's going to mention it, like, real soon, if we actually focus on that part of the actual arc. Again, we're not too sure. But, you know, just see Diamante actually use his flutter matter and take out, like, a mace out of nowhere. Just a convenient, like, folded up mace. And he just grabs it like, yeah, slug. And how Rebecca's on the ground right now. I mean, it means a lot, but then again, Bartolomeo, he's going to come in there and help her with Diamante. So we may not actually get to hear about the specific reason as to why or how her mom was killed. Or we may find out later on in the actual arc, but not right now. So, but yeah, I'm done. I'll see you later. Have a nice one.